Chapter 1. The Stinky Dog. There once was a dog named Fido who loved to eat beans. He loved them so much that he would eat a whole can in one sitting. But there was one problem with Fido's love of beans: they made him fart. And oh boy, were they stinky. One day, Fido's owner, a kind woman named Mary, came home to a house that smelled terrible. She couldn't figure out where the smell was coming from until she saw Fido, who had a guilty look on his face. Chapter 2. The Great Bean Caper. Mary scolded Fido for eating so many beans, but Fido just wagged his tail and begged for more. Mary knew she had to come up with a solution to Fido's farting problem, so she decided to hide all the beans in the house. Fido was sad that he couldn't eat any more beans, but Mary was happy that the house no longer smelled like rotten eggs. However, Fido wasn't the only one who loved beans. There was also a group of mischievous mice living in the walls of Mary's house, and they loved beans just as much as Fido did. Chapter 3. The Bean Bandits. One night, while Mary was fast asleep, the mice snuck out of their holes and began searching for the beans. They found the secret stash that Mary had hidden and feasted on them until there was not a single bean left. The next morning, Mary woke up to a house that smelled even worse than before. She followed her nose to the kitchen and saw that the bean jar was empty. She knew immediately that the mice were to blame. Chapter 4. The Stink Bomb. Mary was fed up with the stinky situation, so she decided to get rid of the mice once and for all. She set a trap and waited patiently for the mice to fall into it. When they did, she took them outside and released them into the wild. Fido was sad to see the mice go, but he was happy that the house no longer smelled like a fart. Mary was relieved as well and decided to only give Fido a small amount of beans at a time. Chapter 5. The Fart-Free Dog. From then on, Fido was a fart-free dog and the house smelled fresh as a daisy. Mary was happy to have her sweet, stinky dog back, and Fido was happy to have his beloved beans in moderation. And the mice, well, they learned their lesson and never bothered Mary's house again.